Girl Meets Hollyworld. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. What's going on, YouTube? After reviewing my last episode of Girl Meets World, Girl Meets Her Monster, and I ended up giving that episode, I believe, a 3.5 out of anger, even though the episode was a lot better than that outside of one part. And now I feel like I'm being punished by the Girl Meets World gods, because now I feel like they may actually deliver me a legit 3.5 out of 10 episode. Or at least that's what this episode looks like it has the potential to be. So according to the promo, it looks like they're gonna try to turn everyone's lives into a movie or something, and everyone is gonna be cast to play a certain part. And you can just tell by the promo that this is gonna be a really goofy episode. It has filler written all over it, and it looks like the stardom is going to a lot of the characters' heads, because they start acting all high and mighty, start dressing in fancy clothes with cool glasses or whatever, and I guess their ego is on cloud 9. The only thing funny or intriguing that I found about the promo is the fact that Zay is still talking about that cookie that Riley ate several episodes back. I mean, Riley, bake the man a batch of cookies. I mean, it's the least you can do. The guy is clearly still very tormented by what you did. And I think until you do something else to get him over it, like some kind of act of kindness, I'm afraid we will continue to hear about that cookie until the final episode of Girl Meets World. And by then, I fear it will no longer be funny, but just annoying. You see what you do, Riley? If you end up turning me against one of my favorite characters, may God have mercy on your soul. Now, as always, I could be wrong, but also as always, it's not likely. But maybe this episode ends up being really good, and maybe it's not as goofy as it looks, but I would be lying if I said I was even a little bit excited to see this episode. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch it, and I'm obviously hoping for the best, but when it comes to Girl Meets World and filler episodes, 9 times out of 10, I don't like them. Girl Meets World and filler episodes just don't mix. For whatever reason, they just don't know how to pull it off very well. Maybe it being on Disney Channel has a lot to do with that. Disney has a lot to do with everything, most of which having a negative impact. But for those of you who have maybe went to the live taping and saw this episode already, without giving away too many details, please let me know if my concerns regarding this episode are warranted or not. Or do I have nothing to worry about? Please let me know, because we only have a few more episodes in the season left. And sorry for being so negative, but I would like to enjoy as many of those few episodes as possible, because so far I have been very unimpressed by season 3. Dare I call it the worst season out of the 3? I don't know. I know season 2 is by far the best though, and it's not even close. And I think you could make a strong argument for season 1 being better than season 3. And I'm really hoping that Girl Meets World does not end on this note. They need one more strong season to kind of balance this all out, in my opinion. Now, I don't want to get into too much detail in how I feel about each individual season. I'll do that in a future video. But if we do end up having a season 4, which I still very much think that we will, I just hope that they pick up where season 2 left off, instead of the series continuing to go downhill. Kind of like Boy Meets World did after season 5. Although I didn't like season 6 and 7 of Boy Meets World compared to the others, they were still pretty good. which is more than I can say for season 3 of Girl Meets World. Now, one more thing I want to touch on real quick is some of the comments on my Girl Meets Her Monster episode review. Particularly the comments about how it's normal for a teenager to act the way that Riley acted. Yeah, it's normal for a bratty teenager to act the way that Riley acted, but to act as if all teenagers are brats, that's a little bit misleading, wouldn't you say? I mean, you're basically admitting that you are a brat, but that doesn't mean every teenager acts that way. And some of you are making it seem like that just because being a brat does happen, that somehow excuses Riley's behavior, and I shouldn't have been so hard on her because of it. No, being a brat isn't okay, regardless of how many kids nowadays are brats. Disrespecting your mother is never okay, especially over such a petty reason. You know, people like to talk a lot about my hatred for Riley and how I pick on her over every little thing. And admittedly, I do go out of my way to pick on Riley nowadays. 1, because I find it funny, and 2, because I know it pisses a lot of you off. But also because I honestly, genuinely don't really like her character nowadays very much. So I'm killing all kinds of birds with one stone, you get me? But for those of you who defended Riley in this episode, hypocrite much? Because although I may go out of my way to pick on Riley a lot, for those of you who defended Riley in this episode, you proved that you go out of your way to defend Riley a lot, even when she doesn't deserve it. So please get off of your little rainbow high horse, as if somehow your opinions hold more value than mine. Because truth be told, we're both biased. We're just biased in different ways, so to speak. But I just wanted to cover that very briefly because it was slightly annoying me. But to wrap up my feelings on this promo, I would say just by judging on the promo, the ceiling for this episode is probably average. While on the flip side, I feel like this has the potential to be one of the worst episodes of the season. But please, by all means, proceed to prove me wrong and make me eat my words. I would be glad to rate this episode an 8 or 9, or dare I say 10 out of 10. Make it happen, Girl Meets World writers. But let's just say I'm not holding my breath. But let me know what you guys thought about this promo in the comment section below. And if you guys are interested in supporting my channel so I can make many more videos for you guys going forward, check out that Patreon link in the description box. But I'm done talking. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know what to do. But as always, until next time.